I don't know who needs to hear this, but college is not like high school. Hey guys, what's up? It's just Lay, and I hope you guys are having a great day today. I know I am because I'm back with another video. So, I know I've been gone for a little while. I've been gone for a few weeks. It's been longer than a little while, but I have a reason. I finished my freshman year, so I'm officially a sophomore, but I had to pack all my stuff, pack my whole dorm up, move everything back here to my hometown, which is where I'm at right now. And then I had finals week on top of that, so I just did not have time to film, but I'm so happy to be back and making more content. So today I want to put out a video talking about freshman year, giving advice to future freshmen, talking about my experience, talking about things from professors to classes to finding your major to friendships to social life to everything. I just want to make a video and just lay it out on the table, give y'all some free game so y'all know what to expect for your freshman year at an HBCU. Now, you do not have to go to a HBCU to be able to watch this video or use the advice that I give in this video, but I do want to say that I go to HBCU, so that's why my experiences are specific to HBCU life and different things that happen at HBCUs. I also want to say that I was a freshman during COVID-19, so some of my experiences are specific to going to school during a pandemic, and just because I went through things or had hardships does not mean that you will have the same experiences or hardships that I had, especially the ones that I had that had to do with COVID-19, because I know things are changing and things might be different next year, so that is really exciting. But anyways, I just wanted to say that disclaimer so y'all can understand where I'm coming from. But anyways, we're about to get into it. So if you're a freshman that's about to attend the HBCU, especially if you're about to attend the illustrious Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, this video is for you. So let's get into it. I don't know who needs to hear this, but college is not like high school. It is so different in good and in bad ways. And the first thing I want to talk about is professors, because that is the main thing that kind of just I was not expecting. So of course, like any other place, you're gonna have good professors and you're gonna have bad professors. It just depends on what subject it is. It depends on what semester. It really all depends. And hopefully you have more good professors than you have bad professors. I know my first semester, I had like one bad professor, one professor that I just did not really like. And then my second semester, I also had another bad professor. And when I say like bad professors, I don't mean that they're bad people. It's just some of them are not as understanding as they really should be, especially as a freshman. You're in school during a pandemic, your classes are online, you're not even face to face. So it's kind of just like, okay, I need you to be more understanding of what I'm going through, my experience. Like, this is not a normal, traditional learning style that we're doing. This is totally different. So some of them just weren't as understanding as they honestly should have been. Like, I literally had a professor that, like, whenever you would be like, I don't understand something, or like you're going too fast or we're confused, he would literally tell us, like, you have a book, you have homework, go look at the book, read. And I'm just like, sir, I read the book and I'm still confused. Like, I need you to explain it to me. And he just wasn't doing that for me, and I just did not like that. But with that being said, just because you have a bad professor, that does not mean that you need to slack in that class or you need to do bad in that class. You gotta do what you gotta do to get a good grade in that class. The one class that I was having trouble with, that I really didn't like my professor, best believe I went to tutoring. I was doing the homework. I was reading the chapters in the book. I ended with a B, which I ended with an 89, which is like so close to an A, because I was putting in the work and because I was going into tutoring every single time they had a tutoring session. Like, I was not playing. Like, just because your professor is bad does not mean that you are going to do bad in the class. There are ways around, bad professors and still doing good in that class. Use your resources wisely. Like, tutoring helps so much. Like, I was always the type of kid in high school, I did not need tutoring. Like, I just understood things off rip, like I was good. But when I went to college, that's when I started utilizing tutoring and really going to study sessions and getting the help that I need. Also, read your book. Like, I was also the type of person that was like, if I'm going to the lectures, if I'm writing notes, why do I need to read the book? If the professor is like always telling you to read your book, then you need to read your book, because half those test questions or things that they're not going all over in class is from the book. So use your resources, and definitely if they tell you to read your book, just read your book. So I know I talked about bad professors, but you also will have good professors. Like, don't think that your professors are just going to be bad. You're going to have professors that are really going to help you and want you to succeed and push you hard. And those are the ones you need to keep close and stay in contact with. There's one professor that I had that I just really liked, and I felt like I can go to her about a lot of things. And she also knows the dean of nursing, which I want to get into nursing school. So of course I'm going to stay in contact with her, because those good professors that you really like, those are the ones that you're going to go to for your recommendation letters, for any help that you need. If you're trying to get into an upper division type of education at your college, that's who you're going to go to for help. So those good professors, you need to keep them close, stay in contact with them, and they're also really friendly, and if they do really like you, they will help you. One big difference between professors and like teachers from high school is they're not checking for you like high school teachers do. Your professors, they have hundreds of students, you know, in different classes. Depending on it, they might have like 200 students. So your high school teacher might know your name, might know something about you, might check up on you. Professors are not going to do that. Like, I've gone up to a professor and I've said like, hey, can you explain to me this? And they're like, wait, who are you? Like, they don't just know your name. You're going to have to really like put yourself out there and really try to like, you know, introduce yourself to your professors, because that's the best way to get help. That's the best way. If at the end of the semester you need help with a grade, you need them to curve something, you need to make sure you're known, because if they don't know you, chances are they're not gonna help you. Like, they're gonna be like, who are you? Like, I don't even know you. Yeah, those are just some basic things to know about your professors so that you can be better prepared, because I feel like that's one thing that surprised me is the professors. I was just like confused sometimes, and I just want y'all to know what to expect when you go to college. Next, I want to talk about friendships and social life. The reason I kind of cringe a little bit talking about friendships is because that's something that I really struggled with my freshman year, is just making friends and meeting new people. My first semester was very hard, especially like the first month or so, because I wasn't really making very many friends and I just felt really sad. I felt like I was not fitting in, and it really kind of sucked because that's not at all what I expected, especially when I was like, I'm going to HBCU. I completely thought that friends were just gonna come so easy, because I'm just like, we all black, we all having the same experiences. Like, I don't have to explain, like, you know, you already understand where I'm coming from. So I was under the impression that making friends at a HBCU was gonna be so easy, but it just wasn't as easy as I thought. When you do go to a HBCU, you will notice that HBCUs are kind of rare. And you might have a really good HBCU in a certain state, and so everybody from that state that want to go to a HBCU, that's where they're gonna go. So one thing about FAMU is, because it's the #1 public HBCU, of course people from Florida who want to go to HBCU, they're gonna go to FAMU. Like, that's a no-brainer. So if you're out of state student and you are going to another school, like I'm from Georgia and I went to FAMU, something to understand is that people who are from that state are gonna know each other, and it's going to be kind of hard because you're gonna go to school and you're gonna see that a lot of people know each other from high school. For me, that was kind of discouraging because I felt like I was going in and people already had friend groups, and I was just like, where do I fit in? How am I gonna make friends? I'm coming from a whole different state. I'm coming from Augusta, Georgia. I met one person who was from Augusta, Georgia out of like the whole freshman class. I only met one person from my city. So I kind of went in and I kind of felt, you know, a little bit left out, because I'm like, there's people from Jacksonville that are already friends. There's people from Tampa that are already friends. Like, there are people from Miami. Like, a lot of people came to FAMU already knowing each other and already having friend groups. So when I got there, I kind of felt like I'm out of state. I don't know none of y'all. I feel like a little left out. So it was kind of hard for me to like find a place where I kind of fit. But just because I had a certain experience does not mean that you're gonna have that same experience. Because I know some people who came from out of state that literally came to FAMU and just made friends so easily, and it just depends on the type of person you are. Now, of course, my experience was impacted by COVID a lot because there wasn't as many social events, there wasn't a lot of in-person classes, so a lot of the places that you normally meet people, we weren't having those same experiences, so it made it hard for me to meet people and make friends. Like, I really had to put in effort to meet people and like DM people and really like go up to somebody and talk to them instead of it happening like more natural, like through class settings or through social events. I do want to say that making friends in college, you do have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to get out your comfort zone. You're going to have to go places. You're going to have to maybe DM people, just meet people. And you know, to meet people, sometimes you do have to step out of your comfort zone and maybe just walk up to somebody and start talking to them. Like, it's just part of it. You're starting to become an adult, and that's just something that you have to do. Because we're in an age of social media, meeting people and networking through social media is a big thing, especially when you first get accepted into your college. So when you first get accepted into your college, a good thing to do is type in your hashtag and type in your class. So I'm FAMU24. So type in that hashtag and find other people who are freshmen and start to DM those people, start to meet those people, follow those people, and really network. Use social media to meet people. One of my best friends that I made this year during my freshman year, I met her through social media. She DM'd me and that's how we met, and we just hit it off. So social media, don't be afraid to hit up people through social media, because you will meet a lot of people through there, and that's how you get to know people. That's how you get to network with people. I will say with friendships, don't rush it. You know, you guys are all new. There's so many different people, so many different personalities. Get to know each other, you know. Don't rush it. It will happen when it's supposed to happen. And you know, when I started to realize that, when I started to say, you know, I don't want to rush friendships anyway, I'm just going to go with the flow, that's when I feel like I started to meet more people and I started to have a better time at FAMU or just at my school. So don't rush it. Definitely let it happen naturally, and just, it will happen when it's supposed to happen. So next, let's get into social life. One thing about HBCU students is they know how to have fun and they know how to have a social life. When you're in college, you need to have a social life. You need to get out. You need to make experiences. Yes, school is very important, and don't get me wrong, school is the #1 reason why you are there. So don't let that distract you. But it is also important that you take a break from your schoolwork and have fun sometime. I always have been the person, I'm just like, school is so important to me. I just want to make good grades. I want to have this GPA. But you know, college will humble you. It will tell you, girl, take a break, take a breath, and you know, let loose for a little bit and then come back to the schoolwork. Doing college work, sometimes they'll have you like on the verge of tears, and I'm just being honest, like, it's not always easy. It's not always a walk in the park. So sometimes you really do need to take a break and have fun and go out and just make experiences and make memories. I don't just mean going out and going to the club or partying. I just mean getting away and just having a good time, even if that's just with like 2 or 3 friends. Just go out. Do not spend all your time in your dorm. You need to take a break from your schoolwork, because if you don't, you're just going to get overwhelmed, you're going to get stressed out, and you're going to get burnt out. And when you get burnt out, you have no motivation to do anything. So to prevent all that, you need to have a social life. Go to some events, be involved in your school, and do different things so that you do not get burnt out. As long as going out is not interfering too much with your schoolwork and you're not going out more than you're doing your schoolwork, I definitely encourage college students, especially freshmen, to go out and have fun. As long as you're being safe, as long as you're doing what you need to do in school, and as long as you're not getting in any trouble, definitely have experiences and be involved in your school, especially your school social life. Speaking of social life, the next thing I want to talk about is safety. I haven't had any horrible or bad experiences yet, but I've heard of girls having bad experiences, when they go out, especially at night, or even males sometimes too. So it's so important that you stay safe and that you do what you need to do to be aware and be cautious. With that being said, number one, do not go out alone. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, it doesn't matter if you're a girl, you need to go out with somebody else. You need to go out in numbers. You're safer when you are with multiple people, especially if you're going out at night. With guys, there's things going on right now in this world, in this society, and I just feel like you also need to know that you're safer in numbers as well. When you go out, when you go driving, take a friend with you, take your homeboy with you, do what you need to do so that you are not going out alone. And if you have to go out alone, it needs to be an emergency. If it's something that can wait and that you don't need to do right now, then wait till you have somebody that can go out with you. Girls as well, when you do go out, especially at night, it needs to be with somebody else. Along with traveling in numbers, I do also feel like you need to have some form of personal protection, whether that's pepper spray or a taser, or even one of my friends had this alarm thing, and when you pull a piece of it out, it makes a car alarm. If you're ever in danger, you can just do that. And those little things are just things that are going to make you feel safer. And if something does happen, you know that you have something that you can use to protect yourself. If you don't have anything like that, if you don't have a taser or a stabber or pepper spray, that's completely fine. You can also get an app on your phone called Noonlight. This is something that I have on my phone that I also tell other people about. And it's basically an app that if you ever feel unsafe, you press a button on your phone and you have the option to type in your PIN number. If you don't type in your PIN number, then it will send your location to a dispatcher, and it will also let a contact person of your choice know that you're in danger, and it will track you off your phone. So if you ever feel unsafe, you can always use that, and you know that somebody is looking out for you and that somebody knows where you're at if you do feel unsafe or if you get into a bad situation. I'll put that app down below just because you are in college. You need to be safe, you need to be more aware, and you are going out into adult settings. You are going to come in contact with creepy guys or creepy girls, and it's just important that you always stay safe and that you always are aware and you have anything that you need in the case of an emergency. I know that we're in college, we think we're grown, we think we're gonna be fine, and we think that things can't happen to us, but they definitely can happen to us. And I've never had an experience, my freshman year where I was like, I need to use my taser, I need to use my stabber. I've never had anything like that. I will say the worst thing that's happened to me was this guy had followed me to class to ask me for my number. And although that is still really creepy, I was just no, I have a boyfriend, and he was just okay, and walked away. It didn't escalate or anything, but still, things happen, and you just don't want to be in a position where you don't have a means to protect yourself or a means to contact somebody if you are in a bad situation. So the last thing I want to talk about is majors. Now, I feel like this is something that a lot of freshmen really are trying to figure out, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do, what major is best for you, and that is completely okay. One thing that FAMU did that I liked was that they provided this test that you can take, and it was 10 minutes, if that, where you just fill out things about yourself, and that helps you figure out what jobs might be best for you and what majors go with that job. And that can help you kind of narrow down things that you want to do and figure out what you're good at and what fields you would be good in. You're still a freshman. You do not have to know exactly what you want to do at that moment, but you do want to start looking at things that you're interested in. Start figuring out what major would go best with what you want to do, especially if you're not already like in college and you haven't already declared a major. Start researching what you want to do. Start researching things that you're interested in and what jobs and what majors go with that thing. So if you are an undecided major, something that you can do while you kind of figure out what you want to do and do your research is during your first semester, take, basic classes. So you might take a basic math class, a basic lit class, a basic science class. And you do this because these classes are like foundation classes. In a lot of different majors, you're going to need the same foundation classes. So that might be a good alternative while you figure out kind of what you want to do and what you want to actually major in. When you do choose your major, make sure it's something that you want to do, because you're going to have classes that are going to align with that major. And if you're not really interested in it, then it's going to be hard for you to, really try and be motivated in these classes. College is not that easy. If it was easy, then everybody would have a college degree and everybody would be doctors. But that's not the case. College can be challenging. Sometimes it can be hard. And you're really doing a good job by making that first step in deciding to go to college, especially deciding to go to a HBCU. One thing about HBCUs is it feels like you are part of a family. It feels like you're included. And a lot of times in your classes, you are going to be cool with your classmates. You're going to, work on assignments together, and you're going to have that, unity with each other. HBCUs are not perfect. They have their flaws too. But one thing about HBCUs is that you feel like you're included. You feel like you're part of a family. And in your classes, you will realize that a lot of people are trying to accomplish the same things you're trying to accomplish. And you guys can really help each other and help build each other and get through, whatever classes, whatever assignments you need to get through. I loved going to HBCU. Like, I felt like I could really relate to the lessons. I felt like I could see myself in what we were learning. And that's what really resonated with me and really interested me at my HBCU. Also, I always felt like I was part of a community. Yes, you have your classes and stuff, and you would be talking to a lot of people in your classes, but just in general, I felt like I was seeing a lot of other people that looked like me, that were trying to accomplish the same things that I was trying to accomplish. And it just made me work harder, and it just made me really be motivated. Because you are surrounded by people who are starting their own businesses, having YouTube channels, having vlogs, doing big things in school and out of school. So that's so motivating, to see other people that look like you, that are the same ages as you, doing great things. And that just is really motivating and really inspiring, because you guys are just feeding off of each other's energy and working hard and all trying to accomplish the same goal and graduate and really do something with your life. Your freshman year is what you make it. If you are going to be sad, if you're not going to go out, then your freshman year is just going to be sad. But if you make it what you want it to be happy, go out, that is what your freshman year is going to be like, and it's going to be better and it's going to be more positive. With all that being said, I really hope that this video shared a lot with you. I was being honest, I spoke my truth, and I really hope that you can use it and apply it to your own experience and take this advice and really use it for good. If you watched my video all the way to the end, you are the realest of real. You are a real one. I really appreciate anybody who watches my videos all the way through. I hope this video helps. I could literally talk about HBCUs all day. I could make multiple videos about HBCUs, but I really hope that this video really helps freshmen. I hope that you can use the advice that I told you, learn from my experiences, and apply this video to your own college experience. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I have my social medias down below, so if you ever have any questions or anything you want to talk to me about, you can always direct message me in my social medias that will be down below. Also, I have different college content on my channel, so if you are interested in this and if you really did like this video, go to my channel, click on the rest of my videos, and see what other college content I have to offer. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Bye.